Sneeze
with James Whittingham.
Ooh, I'm a cow. I'm beef. A side of beef. This is your friend James, podcasting for the second week in a row. It is late, early spring, summer. I don't know what the hell it is. It's been cold, but I've not got a mosquito bite yet. It's June. This is a record for me. I could go outside right now, naked, and be confident that I may not get a mosquito bite. And if I did, would it be on my willy? What do you do when you get a mosquito bite at your genitals? I don't know. There's not much you can do. Maybe it dissipates faster with an erection. If you keep an erection handy all the time, like I do, maybe the blood flow takes away whatever that mosquito bite infection is. But I haven't got a mosquito bite yet. And this is a good thing. There are ants out there. Damn ants come back. I don't know where they go. I poison them. They come back. Stepped on one the other day. Felt bad. It wasn't doing anything to me. It wasn't near my house. It wasn't crawling up my leg. It wasn't stealing my food.
I stepped on an ant. It just happened. I didn't mean to do it. I stepped on an ant, and now it's dead. It's not moving at all, not even a twitching leg. I'm pretty sure it's dead. Its relatives have been notified. There are a lot of them. I stepped on an ant. I'm a killer now. I'm going to hell. I stepped on an ant. I'm a killer now. I'm going to hell. I stepped on an ant. I'm not sure what its job was. Was it a worker ant? Was it a soldier ant? Or one of those drone ants whose head and mandibles are small? Maybe it was a queen ant. That would be a genocide committed by me. James Whittingham, update my Wikipedia to say I'm a terrorist. I killed an ant. I didn't mean to. Hell is a lonely place.
Watch where you're stepping, asshole.
Obituary. Motti the aunt passed away suddenly on Saturday, June 14, age 44 days. She was a graduate of the garbage recycling bin colony, where she was voted most likely to be a queen up by her peers. She started in the inner nest and quickly worked her way to the surface, where she would eventually be stepped on by a mindless human male. She once brought a tiny piece of an apple back to the nest after a human child sneezed on the area she was working. Motti was an accomplished seamstress, a national roller skating champion, a beloved co-worker and friend who loved to entertain. She enjoyed working and interacting with many of the other ants in her cast. She is survived by numerous brothers and sisters, including Ed. She is predeceased by several hundred brothers and her whole mother, Queen Agnes, who ate Motti's sun-dried corpse that was delivered to her by her aunt siblings. In accordance with Motu's wishes, no service will be held. In lieu of flowers, consider donating to a charity that supports hungry ants in third world countries.
My name is unpronounceable. Marty's whore mother is my sibling. Shame on James for stepping on her. I hope he burns in hell, or burns under a magnifying glass like my cousin Richard. The screams. My name is unpronounceable.
I came up with the idea of looking at the stupidest thing on CNN. What is the stupidest thing on CNN.com right now? Okay? So let's look. And I decided it's this. British doctor Michael Mosley, who popularized the 5-2 diet, is gone missing on a Greek island. You know, if I ever go missing, I think that'd be the place to go missing is a Greek island. I would not want to go missing at a Walmart. British journalist, writer, and doctor. The doctor comes last there. Interesting. Michael Mosley, who popularized a type of intermittent fasting known as the 5-2 diet, has gone missing. Perhaps during the fasting portion of his 5-2 diet. The Greek island of Simi, bite me. A search operation is underway after his wife reported him missing. This is a real person who has feelings. But I don't care. He's gone missing. He's probably had a heart attack. He's 67. Maybe he slipped. Maybe he shot himself and got an infection and then had to start severing limbs from the infection that the shedding caused. His agent has also confirmed this. The television doctor is known for the UK documentary shows Michael Mosley, Who Made It Britain Fat? Well, wasn't me. Wasn't Colonel Sanders. It was a combination of factors. He is nominated for a Primetime Emmy for his outstanding non-fiction special informational after executive producing the 2001 BBC miniseries The Human Face, which examined the science between facial beauty. What a guy. The father of 4 deliberately infested himself with parasites to learn more about them for BBC's 2014 program Infested, Living with Parasites. I don't think no. Do not infect yourself with parasites. They sometimes, no. That's so wrong. There's so many wrong things we find on this show. Should I Google parasites? I'd probably get him because he's in the news. Yeah. He infested himself with parasites. You know what? Maybe the parasites just took over. Went for a walk on a trail all alone, nobody around. They said, let's go, boys. Took him over. Parasites. Infested himself with parasites. There's a diet for you.
Parasites! Bitch, you got worms!
Everybody to the brain!
Parasites! Parasites! Bitch, you got worms!
Bizarre facts about United States senators. This week, Marjorie Taylor Greene. MTG once ate elephant shit when she was a child. She was at the zoo with her father and wanted to impress him. She ate the elephant shit and smiled at him. The shit was full of peanuts, as some shit is, but mostly it was shit. Her father was impressed. Like all U.S. senators, Marjorie has a worm in her brain now. Brain worms come from eating shit. And now a ditty.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's brain worm trying to get out. It's trying to get out of her body. body. Marjorie Taylor Greene's brainworm tried to get out and tried to get out of her body. It came out of her ass, as some worms do, but she stuffed it back in, she stuffed back in, she stuffed it back in. Marjorie Taylor Greene's brainworm can't get out, it can't get out, it's stuck in her head. What a sorrowful hell that must be.
Some unpleasant news this week, people. I'm sorry. I'm not even searching for it. Okay, I did. I searched nipples. You know how I search for things? I searched for urine and feces last week. I searched nipples, and I got a bad thing. It's far worse than feces. Far worse than urine. And I've had some bad feces and urine stuff on this show. From the Daily Mail. My breast is ruined. Bride-to-be reveals her nipple turned black and then dropped off after an impulse buy boob job in Turkey. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ignore this story. Another real person lost a nipple. Now the real person is missing, but I'm making fun of it because I don't know what else to do, okay? So a bride-to-be is told of her agony after an impulse buy boob job. Never get a boob job on impulse, but that's what she did. She's from Essex. She paid $4,000 in April for the surgery in an effort to make, quote, her big saggy breasts perkier. Come on, people. Your breasts are what they are. Don't go fucking with them. She's only 19 years old. She's messed up. Yeah, too much eye makeup. You know and she's inflating her lips. Well, good for you. You look like a freak already. At 19, you have natural beauty. If you just was yourself and you didn't, how did you get so insecure?
Instagram.
She went to Turkey to get a boob job because her breasts weren't correct. After being reassured it would heal quickly, Mrs. Goodwin returned to the UK and kept in touch with her surgeon, sending them pictures. Oh, there it is. There's the breast. There's the nipples missing. Yeah. She was left horrified after removing the bandages 12 days post-surgery and find her skin had turned black and her nipple hanging on by a thread. I'm sorry. I know I'm making potentially thousands of people squirm in their own skin. But this is true. She's alive. I'll give her that. She is now waiting for a necrotic tissue to heal or drop off before she can get skin graft in the UK. This is making me uncomfortable. All the nerves in my groin are tingling in a bad way. My boobs felt very saggy and my nipples were really big. They never really went back to normal. I just want them quite perky and a bit rounder and a bit bigger. Come on. That's so messed up. She was half the price. It was $4,000. She got it for half price by going to Turkey. She's cuckoo. At 19, she's defaced her body. At 19. I haven't done that until I was at least in my 30s. And that was by eating a lot of cocoa and paste. Very uncomfortable.
My nipple, have you seen my nipple? I've lost my nipple, it fell off.
Timmy Robinson's Guide to Masturbation by Timmy Robinson. Step 1. Find a tree with a squirrel. Step 2. Approach the squirrel with a positive attitude. Consider smiling. Step 3. Try flattering the squirrel, for example, I like your eyes. Do not say something off-putting or aggressive like, I wish those were my nuts in your cheeks. Step 4. Before proceeding, make sure the squirrel is an adult, if possible. Have the squirrel sign a consent form before engaging in any physical activity. Step 5. Move in for a kiss. Build up to the kiss slowly. Keep your mouth soft and relaxed. Switch your area of focus and, or your speed. Try moving things away from their lips. Go easy on the tongue. Finally, unless fucking a squirrel turns you on, think about Sally, or any Fox News anchor, who are basically porn stars who can speak. Use dried leaves to clean up.
Little Timmy Robinson is boning a squirrel, he's boning a squirrel.
Previously, James used the word whore to describe the Queen Ant in the obituary of Marty. The word is no longer considered okay in general society due to its sexist connotations. The problematic word is usually only applied to women, and having a bunch of sexist cultural judgments wrapped up in its connotation. Despite laying numerous eggs, the Queen Ant is not a whore. The proper term is sex worker, and...
Timmy, use your hand, please, Timmy, use your hand. Leave the squirrel alone, Timmy, just use your hand. Timmy, use your hand, please, Timmy, use your hand. Leave the squirrel alone, Timmy, just use
All right, I've got another very uncomfortable story. We're going to get these out of the way because, once I clear them, the internet will be free of them. I can't go back to them. So let's get them out of the way. If you're still with me, I wouldn't blame you if you weren't, because this is difficult stuff. Not only did I Google nipple in the news, I nippled taint, except I didn't, of course, call it a taint. I called it a perineum to see what was up with that. And something bad was up with that. Something horrible. Man narrowly escapes death. This is from the Daily Mail. After 3-foot iron rod penetrated through his groin and into his chest following a fall. The rod pierced through his liver and reached the top of his diaphragm. After just 3 days in intensive care, he was discharged with a new hole. Where's perineum? Basically a vagina. A man miraculously avoided death after being impaled by an iron rod through his perineum in a freak accident. Gruesome scans show how the rod extended into the 57-year-old's chest. I think I'm 57. I don't even know. The Brazilian man, who wasn't identified by doctors, who shared the gory case in a medical journal, we have to have him on the show, was on a scaffolding platform when he slipped and fell 5 meters onto the pole. Stay with me. Stay with me. Hold on tight. Grasp your lover's hand, or whatever you can. Not anything personal, though, or your nipple might fall off. It impaled him in a delicate area, pierced through his liver, and reached the top of his diaphragm, narrowly missing his heart. Oh, they pulled it out. I'm uncomfortable. Painstaking operation to remove it. Medics revealed he somehow escaped with no lasting problems and was discharged. This is the 1 in a million luckiest guy in the world. It's 1 in a trillion. This has probably never happened before. Then somebody survived. I'm sure it's happened before. People have been impaled in all kinds of ways. What happens if the hole turns into a vagina? It's good if he's transitioning, but he's probably not. He's probably just thinking, why do I have a vagina now? What am I supposed to do with this? Okay. During the discharge assessment 12 days after his operation, doctors discovered abnormal scar tissue on part of his urethra, and arrangements were made for further surgery to fix this. How did his urethra get involved? It's not there. I mean, it might be now. However, they did not reveal if the procedure went ahead and if he attended any follow-up appointments. Nor did they give any more details, and that's that. Perennial impalement injuries can prove fatal in around a quarter of all patients admitted to the hospital. Why? Why is there perineal impalements? And why is a quarter of them fatal? Well, of course they are. How are all of them not fatal? Complication sepsis, abscesses, or sepsis also occur in up to 80% of perineal trauma cases. People, protect your perineum. Wear a metal chastity belt or something. Stay safe out there.
Johnny got an iron rod shoved into his perineum. He should be in a museum. I'd like to see him right through his perineum. That's your taint. Basically a placeholder between your anus and your boulders. If you're a guy, makes me very uncomfortable, but not as much as it made him uncomfortable. I mean, ouch.
Color this week is goldenrod. Goldenrod is our color of the week. Appropriate since we're talking about perineal impalements. How is that a thing? How do they have stats on that? I don't understand. Why?
Johnny got an iron rod shoved into his perineum. He should be in a museum. I'd like to see him right through his perineum. That's your taint. Basically a placeholder between Uranus and the boulders. If you're a guy, what the living fuck? He got an iron rod impaling him through his taint, where his delicates ain't. But where'd it go? Is there a void in there where a womb would be? Not where you pee. How in the living hell? Right through the taint.
All right, let's get around to it. Let's spin the wheel.
Opinion.
Opinion. What is my opinion on? Let's generate a word here. Randomly generate a word. Railroads. I miss the caboose. That's my opinion on railroads. The orange, brightly colored, child-attracting caboose. God knows what they did to children in those cabooses. They had a little wooden stove in there. Maybe a little gin. I just rode at the back of the train and occasionally got out and switched a track. All alone, with your little heat on. It must have been an interesting existence to be a cabooseneer. I'm fascinated why they don't do something about graffiti on train cars. Because when you're stopped at a train on a street and you watch the train go by, there's all kinds of graffiti. Because they pay a lot of money for those train cars and they cover up, things like reflectors and things like that, and important safety information like will explode if derailed, run away now. And, it must take time to do the graffiti too. Are they running alongside the train? Miss the caboose. They should put them on the train anyway, Just as a salute to society, even though they're not doing anything, they can make them light. Just put them on the train at the end. Maybe the caboose could be like a food truck. So whenever it stops, whenever it's blocking the track, you could have like a food truck right there and it could just stop at the intersection. People get out.
I was a cabooseneer for 50-odd years. I ran the rails from Chicago to the Mexico border down in San Diego. Many cabooseneers died on the job, more than one impaled by an iron rod in the perineum. It's a terrible way to go, but not as bad as when you fall off the train and get run over by the train and it cuts you in half. You die, of course, but for a minute you're sitting under the train, cut in half, thinking, damn, I wish that didn't happen. This is a terrible way to go. Sometimes a fellow would get impaled by an iron rod in his perineum before falling off the train and getting cut into. I felt bad for those fellas. A better way to go is to burn alive in one of them blimps.
Oh, that's going to be it for me. I'm done. I mean, the thing has to end. You know what my goal is? 26 minutes. 26 minutes. I think that's the about as much as people could take of me. 27, too much. 25? I could probably stretch it another one.
Sneeze with James Whittingham.
I'm James Whittingham. Thank you for listening. sneezeshow@gmail.com. If you want to send me feedback, and God, I think you do. Maybe it's negative feedback. I can take it. Send it. Send your ideas, if you have any.
Nipples and iron rods, done another pod talking about pain. People got pain, all kinds of pain. Nipple pain, taint pain, pain in the caboose, masturbation pain, squirrel pain. Fuck that squirrel, iron rods.